All right, diving in today. We're all about Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, yeah, she's everywhere.
I feel like we all know her at least a little bit, right? Actress, singer, always on the charts. But
Mm.
today, we're going deeper. We've got her Wikipedia article.
Ooh, Wikipedia.
As anyone who's fallen down that rabbit hole knows, it can be,
Wild.
yeah, the wild ride.
It really is. It's like this constantly evolving thing, like so many voices adding to the story.
Right. And it makes you wonder what story emerges when you put it all together.
Yeah,
So today, our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to
I love it.
understand how Sabrina Carpenter went from Disney Channel to
To who she is now.
exactly. What were those turning points, the influences, the choices? Like, what got her here?
Yeah. Let's start at the very beginning.
Okay.
Born in 1999, Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Not exactly, Hollywood.
Right.
But here's a fun fact. She's the niece of Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson.
Wait, hold on. Bart Simpson is her aunt. Okay. That's incredible.
Oh,
You can't make that up. Makes you wonder if those family gatherings were just like impromptu voice acting sessions,
Right. Ay, caramba at the dinner table. I don't know.
That's amazing.
But, Sabrina didn't rely on those family connections. Homeschooled, she started on YouTube, covering Christina Aguilera, Adele.
Ah, the classic YouTube origin story.
It is.
So many artists start that way, sharing their talent with the world. It's like a legitimate path to fame these days.
It really is. And it speaks to her drive and ambition. Even at a young age, those early covers, you can hear her raw talent, especially that vocal range.
Mhm.
You can hear the hints of that powerful voice
Totally. Yeah.
she's known for now.
And those influences, Aguilera especially, it's so evident in her sound. Like that powerful emotional delivery,
It's there from the beginning.
it's there. Yeah, from the beginning. But before we dive into the music, let's rewind to those early career steps.
Okay, yeah, because she wasn't just a singer right away. Acting roles, Law and Order, SVU, The Goodwin Games. Not your typical kid gigs. And then, boom, the role of Maya Hart on Disney Channel's Girl Meets World. Talk about a launch pad.
Girl Meets World. That was huge. Introduced her to, a whole generation of fans.
Right.
And it was during this time she signed a 5-album deal with Hollywood Records.
Talk about a vote of confidence.
They
They
saw something.
clearly saw something special.
Yeah. And her early music, like her 2015 debut,
Yeah.
Eyes Wide Open, it had that classic, Disney Channel pop sound, catchy, upbeat, perfect for her young fans. But even then, you could hear her kind of pushing boundaries.
Oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
tracks like, well, Eyes Wide Open itself, or Can't Blame a Girl for Trying. They were pop, but with a little edge, Like you could feel this more mature artist kind of trying to break through.
Exactly. And that evolution, it becomes even clearer in her next album, Evolution, 2016. The title itself, right? It's a statement. And songs like Thumbs had a darker, more introspective vibe. Thumbs was such a shift. Yeah. Still catchy, but the lyrics, they were deeper, right? Dealing with frustration, those societal pressures. Yeah. It felt like she was starting to use her music to express more personal themes, which I think is so important for an artist.
It's huge. And it's not just the music evolving, it's her evolving.
Yeah.
As a songwriter, as an artist, and this desire to control her own narrative, it really comes to the forefront when she signs with Island Records in 2021. And then, of course, Skin drops.
Oh, Skin. That was a game changer. First Billboard Hot 100 hit, and it just felt like such a bold statement, addressing rumors, controversies head on, showcasing vulnerability but strength at the same time. It just resonated with a much wider audience, I think.
It wasn't just a catchy pop song. It was a statement of self-ownership,
I know.
And it felt like Sabrina was finally stepping into her power musically, personally. Signing with Island allowed her more creative freedom, and you can hear that.
You can totally hear it. And that confidence just exploded with her last 2 albums. Emails I Can't Send, 2022, and then Short and Sweet just this year. We're talking chart toppers like Espresso, Please, Please, Please. These songs are sophisticated, layered, and so uniquely Sabrina.
It's been amazing to watch this evolution from like teen star to mature artist. But we can't forget Sabrina's success isn't just music. She's always been driven to explore, to be creative.
Right. She's like a true multi-hyphenate. Let's talk about her acting career. She's in films like The Hate You Give, Clouds, tackling those complex, challenging roles, and Work It, that Netflix dance movie.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Not only did she star in it, she was an executive producer.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
It shows you that ambition to have control over her projects, to shape the narrative beyond just performing.
That's huge. It shows real business savvy, that willingness to take on more responsibility behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Wow. And right before the pandemic hit, Broadway debut in Mean Girls. Talk about full circle. Disney to Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
Speaks to her ambition and her talent and like that willingness to take on anything. It's
Yeah.
almost like she's checking off every box on the entertainment industry checklist.
Right.
But beyond acting, singing, there's another layer. Voice acting.
Oh, we can't forget that Sophia the First, Milo Murphy's Law.
That's right.
Really shows her versatility, you know?
Yeah.
She can jump between genres, use her voice in so many different ways.
She really does. It's clear Sabrina is someone who loves a challenge and pushes herself to like constantly evolve.
Totally. She's not just following a path, she's forging her own way. Across music, film, stage, makes you wonder, what drives that ambition? What are the influences and inspiration behind her artistry? Maybe diving into her musical evolution will give us some clues.
It's amazing to think how those early influences, covering Christina Aguilera, Adele, shaped her sound. She said how Aguilera's Beautiful, that song, had a huge impact on her, and you can hear it, that powerful emotional style.
Oh, absolutely. That influence, it's undeniable. But Sabrina hasn't just, copied her idols, you know? She's taken those inspirations and blended them, with R&B, dance pop, even hints of trap, hip-hop.
Yeah, you can really hear that genre bending in her latest albums.
Yeah.
Emails I Can't Send has this raw confessional vibe. While short and sweet, it's more playful, experimental. She's constantly pushing those boundaries, exploring new sounds.
And it's impressive. She co-writes most of her music. She's not just performing, she's shaping the narrative, expressing her own experiences through the lyrics.
Yeah, I love that about her. It brings that level of authenticity and vulnerability that I think a lot of artists are trying to get to. You can feel the honesty in songs like Skin and Because I Liked a Boy. These aren't just generic pop themes. They're dealing with real stuff.
Those songs are so personal, so raw, and they connected with people because of that honesty. She's not afraid to address difficult topics, share her struggles, her vulnerabilities, which...
Well, it makes it so relatable.
Exactly. It's like she's inviting us into her world, letting us see the person behind the pop star. And then on top of that, she plays multiple instruments.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Adds a whole other layer to the artistry. She's not just singing, she's creating.
Real commitment to her craft. Wanting to be fully involved in that creative process, and that dedication, it goes beyond just the music. We talked about the acting, the voice acting, but there's another piece here, her activism, her philanthropy.
Oh, totally. She's been so vocal about using her platform for good, that work with the Ryan Seacrest Foundation, visiting children's hospitals. It's so heartwarming, and you can tell it's not just for show. She really cares about making a difference.
It's a good reminder that even with all the fame and everything, she's grounded, connected to the real world. And her advocacy, it goes beyond just one cause. She's a huge supporter of the LGBTQ+ community, even wrote that beautiful love letter to them for Billboard.
I remember that. So moving. Really shows her allyship and how she uses her voice to lift other people up, which is so important.
And she didn't stop there.
Yeah.
The Sabrina Carpenter Fund partnered with PLUS1, supporting mental health, animal welfare, LGBTQ+ causes, all during her short and sweet tour.
That's huge. It shows she's not just talking, she's putting action behind her words, her money, her influence. It's a powerful example of aligning success with values. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we can't forget that partnership with HeadCount, encouraging voter registration. So important for young people to engage in the political process. She's using her platform to empower them, which is...
Yeah, it shows she understands her influence goes beyond entertainment. She's trying to make positive change. Not every celebrity is willing to do that.
It's refreshing. And speaking of using her platform, she's pretty savvy when it comes to business too. Endorsements with Converse, Samsung, even has her own fragrance line.
Smart businesswoman for sure. Diversifying those income streams, building her brand, creating that lasting impact that goes beyond, just the artistic stuff. It's a smart move, especially in today's entertainment world.
Oh yeah, you got to be adaptable, entrepreneurial. But let's go back to the music for a sec. I'm curious, your take on her musical evolution. It's been so fun to follow.
It really has. You can trace a line from those early YouTube covers to now, this confident, self-assured artist. But it wasn't straightforward, There were twists, turns, experiments, growth.
I wonder, was signing with Island a turning point? It feels like that's when she really came into her own. Sonically, lyrically?
I think so. Island gave her more creative control, and you can hear that freedom in everything after. Skin, it was like a declaration, I'm not going to be defined by anyone else's expectations anymore.
And then Emails I Can't Send, short and sweet. That confidence just keeps building. Those albums feel so personal, so uniquely her. She's found her voice, and she's not afraid to use it.
It's powerful, that kind of artistic self-discovery. But we can't forget, behind the music, behind all that, there's a real person navigating life, you know?
Right. And while we don't want to pry too much, those experiences, relationships, heartbreaks, it all shapes her art.
Everything's connected. Her music reflects her life, her growth, her evolution as a person, which is what makes it so compelling.
Makes you wonder, what's that next chapter going to sound like? What stories will she tell?
Yeah, what boundaries will she push? That's the exciting part. We can guess, but only Sabrina knows what's next. One thing's for sure, she's not afraid to take risks, to evolve, to surprise us.
And that's what makes her such a fascinating artist to follow. Well, we've covered a lot, but I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
It always feels that way, doesn't it?
There's always more to discover. We'll be back in a moment to wrap up our deep dive into the world of Sabrina Carpenter. Okay, we're back and ready to wrap things up. We covered so much in our deep dive into Sabrina Carpenter's world.
I know, right?
From Disney to the top of the charts, acting, Broadway, even voice acting. Wow.
And philanthropy and business, she really does do it all.
Yeah. But what's the takeaway? What's the big story here from all this?
Well, on one level, it's a classic story, right? Ambition, talent, young girl with a dream, works hard, and bam, incredible success.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's more to it.
I think so too. There's a depth to her art, a willingness to be vulnerable and real that I don't see in everyone. She could have stuck with that safe pop sound.
Totally.
But she pushed boundaries, evolved her sound, was honest about her experiences.
And that honesty, it connects. She's not afraid to talk about heartbreak, self-doubt, the pressures of fame.
It makes her relatable, even inspiring in a way. It's like, if she can handle all that and still thrive, maybe I can too.
Right.
It's that mix of talent, hard work, and genuine human connection. And then the activism, the philanthropy, using her position to actually do good. It's not just about fame and money. It's about making a positive impact.
Yeah, and it's refreshing. Because it's not just talk, it's action. The Sabrina Carpenter Fund, the voter registration stuff, LGBTQ plus support, that's commitment. Sets a great example for other young artists, shows you can use your voice for more than just yourself.
Exactly, leveraging your influence for good. And that, to me, is the big thing I take away from Sabrina Carpenter so far. Proof that you can be talented, successful, and use your platform for something meaningful.
So I keep coming back to this. What's next for her? She's only 25. And look what she's done already.
It's exciting to think about.
Right. Will she keep topping the charts? More acting? Maybe a huge movie role? Could she become a mogul, build an empire?
Or maybe she'll completely switch gears. Who knows? Write a book, start a nonprofit. The possibilities are endless.
Because she's always evolving, pushing herself creatively, personally.
Yeah, you never know what she's going to do next, and that's why she's so fascinating to watch.
So to our listeners out there, here's something to think about. Keep your eye on Sabrina Carpenter. This story's not over, not by a long shot. And it's going to be full of surprises, challenges, triumphs. Don't miss the next chapter.